and welcome to Rathods IAS Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 26 June 2024. So let's get started with our discussion. So here I am taking Delhi edition. So here always whenever you are reading current affairs, two things that you need to keep in mind. So I'll tell you how you have to read current affairs. The first one is you have to see articles in your current affairs and you have to connect it with static. So this is the way to prepare, because nowadays the questions, if you take either in your mains or prelims, so they are asking the combination of both static and as well as dynamic. And if you want to clear examination and if you want to do answers for such questions, yes, this approach of integrating current affairs with static is very necessary. And next important thing is always follow your UPSC syllabus. Okay, so don't go beyond your syllabus because questions will be not asked out of your syllabus. So always focus on your syllabus and read according to your syllabus. And next one is you need to focus on even PYQs of both your prelims and as well as mains. So PYQs of prelims and mains is also very important so that you can analyze how the questions is asked and how the trend of UPSC is going on. And based on that trend, you can prepare. Clear? So these two things you need to keep always in your mind before reading newspaper. Okay, so here I am taking Delhi edition of Hindu. So whichever you are having, so you can follow that edition blindly. So there is no need like you have to follow only Delhi edition or only Hyderabad or Coimbatore or Chennai edition. So whichever edition of Hindu is available with you, you can go through that. So this is the front page. So actually we discussed about pro tem speaker in our earlier classes. So we are not going to see these articles now. And if you move on, here you can see one image. So this image is depicting black clouds. Normally clouds will become black whenever, especially before rainfall, because the clouds, they had filled with maximum capacity of water. So because of that, here clouds will be becoming dark, okay, because it will be not allow sunlight to pass through it. So here you can see one important word, that is IMD has forecast thunderstorms in several districts of Odisha. So the keyword here is thunderstorms. Okay, keyword is thunderstorms. So where it is fixed in our syllabus, in GS paper 1, we have geography topic, right? So in geography, in climate, okay, so we can connect this topic of thunderstorms. So what are the dimensions you have to see? So you have to see what is this thunderstorm, what are the causes of this thunderstorm, and what is the impact of this thunderstorm. And one more keyword that you can see in this same image is IMD, Indian Meteorological Department. So you have to see what some facts regarding this IMD and what are the roles and responsibilities of this IMD in early warning system and forecasting. Okay, so these two are the important areas that you have to focus. Yes, now if you see here, there is one more article, title says railways to bring down speed of select Vande Bharat and Gatiman Express trains. So actually you know that, so these are the two fastest trains or railways that we are having at present. And even recently this railways is in news because of accident, right? So there we discussed about covered system, what is that, what are the advantages, and how we can reduce human errors and how we can reduce such type of rail accidents. So all things that we had discussed in our earlier classes. So here this Vande Bharat and Gatiman Express trains, now they are going to bring down the speed. So what is the present speed of this Vande Bharat Express? It is 160 kmph and this Gatiman Express is 130 kmph. Especially in some routes, that infrastructure we have, especially this railway tracks, they are not suitable and they will be not supporting this movement of high speed trains. Okay, so for that, in some areas they are going to decrease the speed of this Vande Bharat and Gatiman Express. So as of now, you have to remember, so which are the fastest express in India, that is Vande Bharat and as well as Gatiman Express. So that is the thing that you have to see. Okay, city page, we are not going to bother about this much. And in this states page also, most of the articles are related to this railway accident and as well as political news and as well as NEET. So we are not going to focus on that much. Okay, and you can directly move on to this editorial page. So in editorial page, there are a good number of articles which are relevant from our examination point of view today. So if you see this editorial, it says agony still in Manipur a year later. So this article is talking about communal violence between Metis and Kukis. So it is not a new thing. And even 2 days ago, also we discussed about illegal transportation of batteries that are used in these drones between the border. Okay, so it is also raising one cause of concern of internal security issue. And again, this is old topic. We had enough discussions on this. We are not going to take about this. And next here you can see one article that is call for consensus. Parliament should give room for extended debates and disagreements. So as you all know, recently elections at central level which had happened, and finally coalition government came into power, okay, which is now the present BJP party, which is coalition. So here now we have ruling party. Okay, we have ruling party. Ruling party is nothing but party which is in power. And we have opposition party. So which is the opposition party now? That is India Bloc. India Bloc is the opposition party now. So actually, so where these people will meet? In our parliament, right? So in parliament. So what happens in parliament? There will be debate, discussion, voting, passage of bill. So entire legislative process, okay, entire legislative process will go on in this parliament, right? So this article is saying that we have strong opposition now, and if we are having this proper debates and consensus between these two political parties, or like ruling party and opposition party, then we are going to have a good governance. So that is the thing which is mainly said. So where can we fit this article? In GS paper 2 under polity. So we are going to discuss this topic under this part of legislature, right? So now let us try to understand this topic and let us try to see why we need debate and consensus, and as well as consensus between these political parties. So how it will leads to effective governance process. So this is very important. Okay, summary of this article says that Parliament need to prioritize extended debates and consensus, okay, so that we can have good governance process, right? So we need opposition party to question about what the policies, laws they are coming up by the ruling party. So here ruling party will be made accountable by this opposition party only. So we need to have enough discussions, debates, and as well as consensus. So this is the idea of this article. So here this article says that yes, consensus is very necessary for effective governance system and as well as for effective cooperation in the parliament. So without the consensus between this ruling party and opposition party, so there can be inefficiency. Okay, so our prime minister, he made a pledge for governance by agreement. That means it will be shows that he is having a willingness to work together with the opposition party, so that will be helpful overall betterment and as well as social welfare of the country. And even if we are having proper consensus and proper debates, that will also leads to more productive outcomes in the parliament. Okay, so this is the thing which mainly said here. So now let us try to understand what is this debates and as well as concerns. So debates and as well as concerns in the parliament typically revolves around the various issues. Okay, so whenever they are having important issues or the issues of public importance, so they need to have the debates and as well as consensus. So which are the areas of discussions, areas of the debates in our parliament? So I will be zooming it so that you can understand. So first one is based on economic policy. So economic policies includes like budget, taxation, public spending, and overall economic growth strategies on all these issues. Yes, we will be having debates and as well as consensus. And next one is regarding healthcare, like funding of healthcare and delivery of healthcare services, and about public health or any emergencies, healthcare access and affordability, and as well as quality of care. So in all these, we need to have proper debates and consensus. And next one is in this field of education also for funding of public schools or government schools and as well as universities and education standards, and even if we need any new education policy or not. And next one is access to education. And next important area of debate is social issues like gender inequality, so it is a rising problem, and racial discrimination. And to talk about LGBTQ plus rights and as well as immigration policies. And even regarding this foreign policy also, we are going to have discussions and debates regarding how we have to maintain relationship with so and so country, and which are the trade agreements that can be finalized. How can we improve our trade? Okay, and what about this military interventions, international aid, etc. So on these areas also we are going to have discussions. And next one is we are going to focus on even environmental policies like climate change, renewable energy, pollution control, conservation efforts, and even if we want any amendments regarding any acts which are focusing on wildlife, biodiversity, etc. So there will be the discussions and debates. And next one is even regarding this justice and law enforcement. Like recently we came up with this repealing of IPC, CRPC, IEA. So that comes under criminal justice reforms and law enforcement changes or practices. If you want anything, yes, we are going for debates and consensus. And next one is regarding this technology also, for example, regulation of new technologies, data privacy, cyber security, and also improving of innovation. So in these areas also we will be having discussions. And next one is regarding constitutional and institutional reforms like changing of constitution, about parliamentary procedures and governance structures, electoral reforms. So everything will be having discussions. And even we will be having debates on local and regional issues like infrastructure development in that region and local governance, regional autonomy, specific regional needs, etc. Okay, so in these areas we'll be having discussions. You need to have a brief idea, like whenever you are getting anything which is in newspaper, you have to know at least some background regarding that. So that is the idea I'm giving mind maps here. So your question is examine the importance of debate and consensus in a parliamentary system. So how do these processes contribute to effective governance? So here I also added one more word, parliamentary system of democracy. So you have to write an introduction about this parliamentary system of democracy, and later on you can continue about what is the importance and as well as what is significance. Clear? And now let us move on to our next article. So this article is talking about India needs the anchor of national security strategy. Okay, it is talking about national security strategy. So let us see the dimensions. So this article is talking about national security strategies. Okay, so this article is very important from your GS paper 2 under international relations. And even we can connect this topic with GS paper 3 under internal security. So from these two subjects point of view, it is important. Okay. So here from international relations, we have to know technologies with other countries, how we can frame our foreign policy according to the security of India, and from which countries we have threat, and you have to see how we have to plan according to it. So what should be the plan? And next from internal security also, we have to see what are the threats to India and how can we address those threats. Okay, you have to see how can we address those threats, and also you have to see about what is the need of national security strategy now. So from this area, you can expect only mains based question, but not prelims based question. Okay. So you have to prepare from only mains point here. So now let us see this topic in detail. So what is the summary? India needs the anchor of national security strategy. So this article says that yes, we need a proper national security strategy. Why? To address evolving threats, opportunities, and we have to coordinate long-term planning and signal strategic intent, and we need to synchronize government efforts, and we have to ensure accountability. So actually nowadays what is the thing here is, because of development in science and technology, there is increasing of threats, right? So we are getting new type of threats. So we need to address those challenges. We need to be ready to address those challenges or to fight back. So for that, we have to know what are the opportunities we have. So we need to coordinate what should be the long-term planning, and we need to focus on what is the intent, why we need this, and we need to have the government efforts, and we need to enhance accountability and transparency. So all these are required in this national security strategy. Okay, so what are the key insights of this article? This article says that if you're not having this national security strategy, then what happens? It will hampers. It will reduce the ability of a country to address emerging security challenges. So if you don't have this type of strategy, then how we are going to address the challenges that we are going to get in future? No, right? So for that, to address the future challenges itself, we need this type of strategy. And even we need this type of national security strategy to comprehensive strategy assessment. So we need to focus on how to revive the threats, and as well as what are the opportunities we have, and we have to even analyze about the global threats also. And this one is, we need to focus on coherent planning framework. So strategy would provide a blueprint for long-term planning. So we have to focus on long-term planning, and also we have to focus on resource allocation, and we need to avoid wasteful spending on this defense. So all these are very important. And next one is, we need to focus on signaling strategic intent. So we need especially very clear communication of India's strategic objectives, and as well as we need to manage the expectations of Indians and as well as other countries, and we have to synchronize the government efforts. So strategy that should facilitate coordination, and that should facilitate coordination among the various governmental agencies, and we have to focus on effective security planning and as well as implementation of planning. That is also very important component. Not only coming up of plan is important, but even how we are implementing it, so that also plays a very important role. And next one is, we need to focus on enhanced accountability as well. Okay, strategy would serve as a tool for holding government accountable, and we have to make government transparent also in the case of how it is going to take steps and how it is managing national security, decision making, everything. Okay, so whenever there is accountability and transparency, then only we can ensure effective governance system. Clear? Yes, now let us see what are the key components in this national security strategy. It is very important. Please students, try to make a note. Okay. So first component is, we have to assess the threats. We have to identify the potential threats like terror attacks or military conflicts, or if terrorists they are going to attack which area, everything we should be assess these threats beforehand. And next one is, even we have to focus on threat assessment conducted by intelligence. So intelligence agencies, they need to conduct these assessments. And this one is, we need to have a proper defense policy. That means we need to develop military capabilities and defense policies to deter and to respond to threats. And in this context, yes, we cannot fight against this threats by using old technology. We need to modernize our armored forces, strategic alliances like NATO. And next one is, we need to focus on even economic security. So economic stability and protecting of critical infrastructure is also very important. And even we need to develop the policies. That policies need to secure supply chains and as well as cyber security measures, etc. And next one is we need to focus on diplomacy and international relations. So we have to engage in diplomacy to build alliances, and we have to manage international conflicts, and we have to focus on participation in international organizations, and we have to come up with the bilateral treaties with the different countries. Okay. And next one is we have to focus on homeland security. In this homeland security, especially we need to focus on protecting of nation from internal threats, and we have to ensure public safety, and we have to focus on counter-terrorism measures and border security. So all these are very important. And next one is energy security. So we have to focus on energy, right? So we have to ensure access to energy resources, and we have to protect energy infrastructure, and especially we have to focus on diversification of energy sources, and we have to focus on securing of pipelines, etc. And next one is cyber security. So in this cyber security also we have to protect our defense, or not defense as exactly, like we have to protect our digital infrastructure. Okay, digital infrastructure should be protected, and we need to have proper national cyber security frameworks, and even if possible we can come up with public private partnerships in this also. And we have to focus on environment, health, etc. So for this we have to address environmental threats, public health crisis, and climate change mitigation policies, and pandemic preparedness, etc. And next one is we have to focus on maintaining of sovereignty. So here we have to protect our national borders, sovereignty against extreme aggression, and especially we have to focus on military deterrence and as well as defense strategies. And next one is we have to focus on even global stability. Okay, and we have to contribute to international peace and stability through proactive measures, and especially we have to even focus on economic prosperity as well, and as well as technological advancements. So these are the important area, okay, that you have to focus. And now let us see like what is the mains question. So mains question is discuss key components of comprehensive national security strategy, and you have to evaluate its importance in this contemporary global politics. That means actually you can see, yes, India is facing threat from Pakistan and China, and if you see across the world, Russia Ukraine crisis is going on, and here we have Israel Palestine issue, right? So in this context, yes, we need good national security strategy. So in this context you can write an answer. Okay, now let us move on to opinion page. So in this opinion page here, this article, it is about Kavach signaling system. So already we had detailed discussion regarding this Kavach 2 days ago. So if you have not watched that class, so please go back to that class and see that what is this Kavach system. So I gave detailed explanation regarding that. And this text and context, there is one article, it is about analyzing Maharashtra's water crisis. So water crisis is one of the important contemporary issue that we are seeing now. So not only in Delhi region, Bangalore region, and especially now even in Maharashtra also they are facing this water crisis. So it is one of the problem that we can see, like societal problem. It is also one contemporary issue that we are seeing now in society. Okay, so here what are the dimensions? This article is talking about water crisis. It is important from GS paper 1 under geography, and even we can connect it from GS paper 1 under society. Under society also we can take this into consideration. Okay. So here you have to see what are the reasons for water crisis, and you have to see map locations where we are facing this exact water crisis, and what are the measures to be taken to address this problem, and you have to see even initiatives of government, okay, to address this problem of water crisis, and you have to see at local level what are the steps can be taken by the people, for example water harvesting system, etc. And next, from society point of view, you have to see what is the impact of water crisis on society, and how we can address this issue from society point of view. Okay, so this article is important again from your mains, not from your prelims. Okay, So now let us see this article in detail. So summary says that Maharashtra is facing water crisis because of varying rainfall. That is, sometimes it is having heavy rainfall, sometimes it is having low rainfall. So that is called as variation in rainfall. And they are also going for unsustainable crops like sugarcane. And even third important reason is rain shadow effect. Rain shadow effect means nothing but, so these are like hills. So whenever moist laden winds they are moving and they are hitting this mountain or hills, they will cause rainfall here. So this type of rainfall is called as orographic rainfall. So what is this? It is called as orographic rainfall. So whenever this winds they are moving this side, so they will be becoming dry. They don't bear the water. So in this region there is no rainfall. Okay, so this region is called as rain shadow region. Okay, this region is called as rain shadow region. So actually Maharashtra, which is facing this effect called as rain shadow effect. So what are the three reasons now? First one is variation rainfall. Second one is unsustainable crops, because sugarcane needs more amount of water. It is an example of water intensive crop. And regarding the sugarcane also and rice, these are the two major example of water intensive crops. So because of growing of this water intensive crop in less water available area, that will further leads to water crisis. So this is the second problem. And third one is, as I said, it is because of rain shadow effect. So if you see the key insights, it says that yes, uneven rainfall distribution is happening. Because of this, it is causing droughts in some regions, and in some regions, you are having floods. So, sugarcane cultivation grow in this low rainfall areas like Marathwada. So, again, that is increasing this problem of water crisis. And next one is, it is also hindering irrigation for other suitable crops. And next one is, they are also facing this issue called as rain shadow effect. So in this context, what are the steps they can take? So what are the solution? So first one is they can go for watershed management. So watershed management, it is very helpful for water resilience and as well as sustainable water management in this Maharashtra region. And next one is we can focus on diversifying of crop. Rather than growing this water intensive crop, we can shift towards water less intensive crops. And next one is we can also promote water efficient practices, and we can also go for shifting from water intensive crops like sugarcane to other important or less water consuming crops. And next one is we have to go for supporting of sugarcane pricing and as well as sales, and especially if government is not promoting this sugarcane, so people in that region they won't go for growing of the sugarcane, right? So government need to focus on diversification of crops in this region. Okay, so that is a thing that we can do here. So here you have to know one important thing, what are the reasons for this water crisis in this region. So I am taking in general, like not only in Maharashtra but even other areas, what are the reasons for this water crisis. First one is because of climate change. Climate change causes irregular rainfall patterns, and even there is increasing of temperature, increasing of drought, some areas you are having floods, etc. So it is one of the important reason. And next one is whatever the groundwater that already present, we are over extracting it. Why? Because we are going for cultivation of water intensive crops like sugarcane and rice. And even there is depletion of groundwater levels, it is also one important cause for water crisis. And third one is agriculture practices. So high water consuming crops are inefficient, and even sugarcane cultivation also requires large amount of water, and even rice is also one such a crop require more amount of water. And next one is because of increasing of urbanization, industrialization. So water will be used by industries, especially to cool this machines or anything that we are using. And next one is whenever there is urbanization, there will be increase in demand for water. So this is also one important reason that is leading to this water crisis. And next one is pollution mismanagement. So there is contamination of water bodies, because directly whatever the waste we are producing, that waste we are releasing into the water, and fresh water is becoming into polluted water. So because of this, that water will become unfit for consumption or unfit for use. So again that will leads to poor water resource management, and again in turn water crisis. Clear? And even And even you have to know about what are the consequences of this water crisis. So what happens if there is water crisis? So this consequence is very, very important. You have to know this basic knowledge. So what happens if you're having water crisis? So where we are using this water more? In agriculture. So if there is no water means there is no food production. It is as simple as that. So what happens if there is no farmer produce? So there will be increasing of farmer suicides, right? And next one is it is also having impact on economy. So as you all know that India's agriculture is based on primary sector, that is agriculture sector. So if agriculture output is affecting, then it will be automatically affecting the contribution of GDP of agriculture to economy. So obviously there will be economic slowdown. And next one is health issues. So if water is polluted, means if you're consuming it, then that will lead to health issues like diseases and outbreaks of this diseases which are caused by this contaminated water like diarrhea, cholera, they will be spreading like anything. And this one is social unrest. So water is very important resource that everyone want. I think you might be watching many movies where women, they are having their vessels and they will be beating with the vessels for this water. So this type of events that will cause social unrest. And even sometimes in areas if they are having very less water availability or water crisis, so people they will be come onto the roads and they will be demanding for supply of water to the higher authorities or government officials. Okay, and even if there is no proper water availability, if there is any river which is flowing there, so if there is any agreement between the two states, so now again the water sharing issues will come into news. For example, river water sharing issues between India, between Andhra Pradesh and Telangana regarding river Krishna sharing water. So like that, it will be also leads to some political issues, and even that will cause environmental degradation. So in this environmental degradation, it causes depletion of ecosystem and as well as biodiversity. And so those things that you have to remember. And I want to give you one mains question. Okay, mains question is examine the causes. One, second one is consequences of water crisis in Maharashtra, and you have to discuss what are the solutions to address this issue effectively. So there are three sub questions included in this question. So try to write an answer for this and send for evaluation. Okay, and next article in this text and context, it is about Agnipath scheme. So will the Agnipath scheme be revamped or not? So this is not a new scheme actually, but because of forming of Modi 3.0 government, and especially opposition parties are raising question regarding this revamping of this Agnipath scheme. So here we have to see just what is the scheme about and what are the provisions, what are the advantages, everything. So or else you can see this gist part. This gist part is also more than enough to understand this. But in this gist part, they didn't give about the basics of this Agnipath scheme. So you have to focus on that. Okay. And if you see the highlights here, so NDA allies, that is nothing but the present government, so have raised concerns about Agnipath scheme for recruitment of soldiers, and they are now want to go for review of this scheme by the government, and is there any need of changes regarding the notification to the existing scheme or not. So again there are something which is going on. So what are the causes or the concerns why this issue which is going on regarding this Agnipath scheme is because already there is a shortage of personals in the below of officers rank cadets in the army, and if they are going for recruiting of these Agniveers or regular soldiers, and actually it is also having impact on their future of this Agniveers. So whether they are going to continue this or not, there is no clarity. Only some people they will be remaining with this and others they will be come back to the home. So this is the issue, nothing more than that. Yes, and there is one article, it is about Park delegation inspect Ratley Power project on Chenab River in Jammu and Kashmir. So in yesterday's newspaper, we discussed about this Indus Water Treaty. So on this Indus Water Treaty, yes, we have three rivers which give full permission to Pakistan to use the water, and other three rivers we got permission. But especially we are going for this Ratley Power project, which is run of water project on this river Chenab. So on this project, yes, we are having issues between India and Pakistan. So we are going to see about this Ratley Power now. So actually the key insights this article says that India and Pakistan, they are having a dispute regarding water resource in Jammu and Kashmir. And especially India and Pakistan, they have issue regarding this power projects. So actually this Chenab River, which plays a very important role in this hydro power project. So it is one of the concerns between India and Pakistan. So the issue between India and Pakistan of this power project is Ratleh power project. Okay. So if you see why this Ratleh power project is important, because especially for energy security. So actually India is having an aim to improve renewable energy, right? So for that we can use hydropower. So that we are producing by using this Ratleh. And by this Ratleh power project, India's aim it is to develop or to produce 850 megawatts of capacity. It is very high. And next one is, so this project will be also helpful for economic development. So whenever we are having any infrastructure project, that will create employment opportunities, and even that will be helpful for development of infrastructure. So that will be boosting local economy through construction, operational jobs, etc. So in this way, it will be contributing to economy. And third one is reduction in carbon footprint. So we can decrease this carbon footprints. That means whenever we are moving from non-renewable to renewable, so we can decrease the emissions. For example, greenhouse gas emissions. That will in turn leads to decreasing of global warming. And next one is for strategic importance also, it is very important. So it will be strengthening India's presence and influence in this region of Chenab. And next one is, it will also enhance India's control over water resources in this Chenab River. So it is one of the important tributary of Indus. And regarding this Chenab River, so there was question in 2022 in your UPSC prelims directly. So this river system tributaries are important for your prelims, so you have to focus on that. I request you to open Atlas and see exactly where this river system is located, along with tributaries, which are right bank and left bank, and where they are joining this river Indus. Okay, so all these are very important things. And if you move on to our page, so in this news page, there are other articles which are relevant. So first one, it is about Jal Jeevan Mission. So this is the scheme of government which provides water facility to the households through functional taps. Okay, especially 55 liters of water per person per day under this Jal Jeevan Mission. So whenever if you see any scheme in news, that will be very important from your UPSC point of view. And 2024, there are 3 questions directly came from the schemes which are there in news. And next it is about Ratley Power Project. I discussed this topic. And next one is IDEX. So IDEX is very important. Okay, so you have to see about this IDEX. IDEX is nothing but innovations for defense excellence. So this is an initiative of Defense Ministry. So especially we are focusing on improving of technology, especially miniature satellites. Okay, under this project. That's it. And yes, and in this world page, you have one important Chinese project to moon, that is called as Chang 6. So Chang 6, which had been sent to moon, it is a mission of China, and it had now returned back onto the earth, and it collected some rock and soil samples from this moon, and now they will go for doing research. So based on that, they will give some information regarding moon here. So here you have to focus on what is this Chang 6. Okay, Chang 6 is Moon's mission of China. So these are the very important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. I hope you enjoyed this class, and please do like and share this class to your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy. And thank you so much.